Today marks 1460th day. Share lessons I learn and continue to learn with you. Well, I hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about one more letter, and that is S. Seven words that are essential to become the best version of you with letter S. So let's get started. So number one, and I truly believe that is very, very important word, it's surrender. It is a gateway to flow. I think sometimes when we do not surrender, we do not allow things to come into our life. Surrender is a lot of times is acceptance. Surrender to kind of a situation that you're in. I think that when we do not surrender, at that moment we live in denial. And what denial does? Denial is really putting all the problems, all the difficulties, all the things that you do not like under the rug. And when you put something under the rug, problem doesn't disappear. It's just hidden under the rug. So sometimes we need to really surrender to those, reveal all those problems, and really accept that there is a problem that needs to be fixed. There's something that we need to do about it. I do it. I don't say that it's easy. I have been in denial, living in denial for a long time for different reasons, and I know that it's difficult sometimes to surrender to that problem and say like, yeah, there is a problem and needs to be fixed. And I think surrender is such a beautiful word because I truly believe that every single person has something to surrender to. And I think that surrender is one of the beautiful words in faith as well. Surrender to your faith and be obedient to your faith. That's a beautiful area as well because now you're able to understand that I surrender. So I say that there's more powerful things than me. That humbles you, and you know that there's something that you know that you have something that strong, consistent anchor that you could really rely on. And that's I truly believe that surrender is such a powerful word because you have that strong anchor that you rely on no matter what's going on in your life. So surrender is two-way thing. Surrender is just having that consistent anchor if you faith-based surrender, or surrender other thing is acceptance, acceptance of your current situation and be okay with suffering because that suffering has a meaning because you're working on something that is really required to do before we move to the next level. Number two, and spirituality. And this is the anchor of meaning. And it probably is surrender is a little bit of spiritual as well when you think about faith. And again, you probably understand that spirituality is not just religion, it's not just faith. You can potentially have no religion whatsoever, but still spiritual. So when I say spirituality, I don't say about religion, even though that spirituality could be part of religion as well. Spirituality is about knowing how you transcend yourself in this society, how you add value, how you find the meaning of you being on this earth. Because if anything about have faith, it's much easier to have spirituality because now I know the meaning to add value to people, to transform, to get better, to be obedient in your faith. And again, that's part of spirituality and being able to, because spirituality is such an important thing because spirituality brings us presence. That means that we're going through life, spirituality allows us to be mindful, present, and mindfulness and presence brings so much more because it allows us to be more positive, optimistic. We have better attitude, more grateful, and of course, when you have those kind of attributes on yourself, in yourself, it's so much easier to really pursue big things because you just attract better things into your life. Number three is simplicity, the power of focus. I think that's one big mistake that I learned and that people do is a lot of times people think that success needs to be complex. But the first person that I learned this from it was Darren Hardy, and he said that there is a, even his book, his Compound Effect, and in his book he shares that small, simple things repeated every single day could lead to extraordinary results. And people think that okay, if it's that simple, so that means every single person could do it. But yeah, most people not able to do simple things consistent enough, long enough, because it's like, oh, just it's just eating an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And eating an apple seems extremely simple, but who actually do that? Who actually doing those simple, small actions every single day? Because it's so simple, we have a tendency to forget those simple things. And again, when we simplify our life, when we remove all the things of our life that is not adding tremendous value, and the most important part, when you think about simplicity, the key part is removing good things in our life. So what I mean by that, bad things most likely is very easy to remove. This is bad for me, I remove it. But good things, those sometimes are challenging to remove because it's good thing in my life. Why are you supposed to remove good thing? We need to remove good things in our lives that we could attract and allocate our time into the things that are great for us, excellent for us. And that's why when we remove good things in our lives, we even simplify our life even more. And sometimes we can have that single-minded approach for a season of our life. And that's where power focus lies. Number four, service. And this is the heart of fulfillment. And again, partly of faith-based. I love this word. It's for me, it's partly faith-based, but of course, it could be not faith-based either. But when you think about service, like adding value to people, and you say, what kind of service do you want to do to people? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you want to be an employee? Do you want to add value by giving your energy? Do you want to give advice? Do you want to give uh, some time? Do you want to give some finances? It doesn't matter what kind of service you can give, but you can ask, okay, what kind of service would I like to give to people? There is no any worse or better. All of them are great. Just asking what kind of service could I provide? I think that's a beautiful question because that really gives you the attitude that there is every single person is there to serve someone. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be that you're going through massive difficulty, adversity, challenges, storm, and you speaking in someone who is in a storm in exactly the same place is a service. That's being supportive to each other. That's again service. I think that we sometimes we minimize how much service we actually could do if we just are intentional about it. And this again brings a lot of fulfillment and meaning in anything that you do. Number five, strength. And this is a core of character. And I think that every single person needs to understand, okay, what are my gifts? What are my strengths? What kind of things do I need to develop that I could be expert in my field? And be able to be experts in our strengths. That's what I learned from John C. Maxwell. So that a lot of times people develop their weakness, but they when develop weaknesses, you become average. But when you develop your strengths, you can become expert. And people pay a lot of money for experts, not for average. So that's why it's so much more important to focus on strengths. And then I was reading the article that they were reviewing companies, and there are some companies was developing weaknesses of people, and other companies was developing strengths. And what they found that companies who were developing weaknesses of people in the company, those companies stayed the same or even went down. But companies that focus on finding people's strengths and focusing on those strengths increased significantly. So that's why I think that it's very, very important to really reflect on what are my strengths and start working on them. Number six, and this is a beautiful word that I really love that word, is serenity. The art of inner peace, serenity. And there's a partly is a little bit of solitude, but it's not. Solitude is being alone, being having that time to really reflect. But serenity is beautiful, even more powerful than solitude, because serenity, you can have potential serenity and peace in the middle of the storm. And I think every single person is supposed to seek that when you're able to have serenity no matter what's going on in your life. And when you have that inner peace, when you have serenity, you can go through life with a smile on your face. And that's probably I've heard that quote that success is when you're going through one disappointment to another disappointment without losing enthusiasm. And that serenity allows us to give, allows us to really receive that enthusiasm, that never-ending enthusiasm, because you have that inner peace, and that inner peace allows to download infinite amount of energy. I truly believe that that's a beautiful, beautiful word. The last one, number seven, and I think that is again very, very important, is sacrifice. And this is the price of transformation that we need to pay. So we think about the vision, the best version of ourselves. That's the better tomorrow. We need to ask ourselves, what do I need to give up? That's what I learned from John C. Maxwell as well. He said that you need to give up something to go up. So that give up is sacrifice. And again, sometimes you can call it not sacrifice, it's a trade-offs, and then sometimes it's an even better word. But sacrifice is, again, sometimes we need to sacrifice. And then partly is to sacrifice good things. Again, when I share that when we want to really pursue great things, sometimes we need to sacrifice those good things. Because you potentially want to do those good things. Those are enjoyable things. But if you think about meaning, fulfillment, joy, bliss, what will bring more of it, that more meaning? So when you really sacrifice all those good things and really focus your attention just on the great things, that brings majority of things. And again, sometimes when you focus on great things, that will transform us in the highest level because that will challenge us. It will be harder. It'll be more difficult, but it will develop our character, our resilience, our perseverance, our empathy, compassion. There are so many things that will be transformed when I really sacrifice good things. So, in summary, so those 7 words are: surrender opens your life, spirituality gives it meaning, simplicity keeps it clear, service makes it purposeful, strength sustains you through it, serenity balances you, and sacrifice transform you. So I hope you to reflect on those words as well. Find maybe even other words that start with S that are extremely important in your life. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.